What's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Dubs Boxing. All right, we're gonna get into some news and notes for today. Got a lot of stuff going on in the sport of boxing. Got some fight cards to touch on this weekend, and what I'm saying, I'm just gonna go with the flow. So, of course, we heard the big news a couple days ago with Anthony Joshua defending his titles versus Big Baby Miller in New York, June 1st. You know, I think it's a good style matchup. As far as the way both guys fight. Um, Big Baby is there to be hit. Anthony Joshua is a strong puncher. He's very dangerous in the beginning of the fight. Big Baby tends to start slow and he like to wear his opponents down in the late rounds. He throw a lot of punches, but you know, I'm not the one that would downgrade this fight. I like the fight. You know what I'm saying? It gives us something different, a different opponent, a different type of opponent. It gives us a different type of situation. But Anthony Joshua fighting in the United States, so I think it's a good move. I actually thought he should have did this last year. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that he wasn't gonna make the Deontay Wilder fight, so I thought he should have came over last year and did it. But nonetheless, it's still good. I'm looking forward to it. So um, they fighting in MSG on the Zone, and then they got pay-per-view in the UK. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Big Baby, he has his opportunity. He talk a lot of trash, and he said he gonna do this and gonna do that. Then he have his opportunity. Um, Anthony Joshua. I mean, it's just a good matchup to me. Um, I know the consensus is AJ like to get tired. He get tired down the stretch in fights, and Big Baby will be able to wear him down. But another thing I look at this a little deeper. In AJ's last fight when he fought Povetkin, he was trying to box a little bit, and he was looking kind of awkward when he was boxing. Um, he was using the shoulder a version of the shoulder roll defense. He was trying to box on the outside. He looked kind of awkward until he caught him in the seventh round. You know what I'm saying? So his power it carries. It looked like he was trying to preserve his energy in that fight. He got touched up early. Povetkin busted his nose in the first round, hit him with a couple of hooks and whatnot. So I don't know if he was working on something. He didn't. To me, he didn't seem comfortable fighting on the back foot and using the shoulder roll. But we'll see. Um, can he can he box well in this fight? I think he's gonna have to box in spots. Um, I think Big Baby will have trouble with boxers. He was having trouble with Gerald Washington, but Gerald Washington he stayed in the pocket too long, and he got tired, and that was it. I don't know if AJ can bring some similar boxing skills to the table. He has the power, so um, it's gonna be dangerous in the beginning, but what I'm saying, it's still an interesting fight. Um, it should be competitive. Me personally, I think Big Baby can win this fight if he can take the power and get him in the late rounds. But we'll see, we'll see. But it's still a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. Also, just got announced a couple of days ago. You got Carissa Shields versus Christina Hammer for the undisputed middleweight championship. Man, this is a long awaited fight. It's been probably like 2 or 3 years in the making. I remember the first time I seen them together. It was at the WBC convention in Miami, like 2016, I believe. And ever since then, it basically set the foundation of what should happen right now. This fight was scheduled last year in November, but Christina Hammer had to pull out due to a intestine illness, so she has some complications going on. She came back and fought last weekend in Germany. I mean, she fought a. I mean, it wasn't much competition. She went in there and did what she had to do. She looked the same. You know how she fight, good jab, good straight right hand, kind of bouncy on her toes. Jumping around the ring. But she got the girl up out of there. She stopped her in 2 rounds. The girl basically quit. So it set the stage for this April the 13th in Atlantic City, live on Showtime. So that's dope. That's dope. It's like one of the best fights, maybe the best fight in women boxing history, as far as like prestige and what's on the line, and just the two fighters. Carissa Shields is, she leading the way for women's boxing in the United States. You know, she basically resurrected here uh, to make the networks to pay attention and for the promoters to sign bigger contracts for the lady fighters. So, what I'm saying, she's been active. She fought what, 3 times last year? Was it, no, 4 times last year? Yeah, she fought 4 times last year. She's 8-0 with 2 knockouts. We know she's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. So, um, you know, it's a good matchup. I mean, you got, you know, the boxer and Christina Hammer that throws straight punches. She got a sneaky uppercut and a good right hand. She's 24-0 with 11 KOs, so she can punch a little bit. Um, Carissa Shields haven't shown the big punching power, but she can. I believe she can. I believe she can crack a little bit. It's just, I think, maybe her technique with her punches. I don't know. I can't say. I'm not the expert in that, but it seems like she be throwing hard shots. It is, maybe she just don't have the punching power. So it's still a great matchup. When people look at the records, a lot of people, they don't follow women's boxing, so they don't really understand how close of a fight this is. I would say it's 55-45 in Carissa Shields' favor, but it can be 50-50. It's a close fight. Um, they'll look at the records. They'll say, well, Carissa lack experience against Hammer. But if you dig deep into it, actually, it's the other way around. Christina Hammer has 24 fights, and Carissa only have 8 fights. So that's like what, triple the fights. But if you look at her amateur career, Carissa Shields' amateur career is about, she surpassed Christina Hammer in experience. It's a lot of women in the amateurs. They fight for their country, like Russia, Kazakhstan, any of those countries over there. They basically professionals. They get paid to train and fight in the Olympics, so they have more experience. And Carissa fought bigger girls than Christina Hammer. Christina Hammer like 5'11", 6 foot. Carissa beat girls like 6'4", 6'5", 6'3", 6'2" in the Olympics. That was kind of better than Christina Hammer and much stronger and bigger. So just, a lot of people may look at the records and think it's Carissa Shields is not experienced, but you have to dig deep in that. So it should be a good fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. It'd be the second time the winner would be the second woman's fighter to have all 4 belts. Cecilia Brækhus is the first one to have that. So that's an elite company right there. So I salute that fight. Excuse me. So also just came out Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. Their undercard has just been announced. Um, I know a lot of y'all probably knew that David Benavidez was fighting Jalen Love, excuse me, as a co-main on the undercard. And today they announced Luis Neri. He's a 118-pound fighter, former world champion in that division from Mexico. He's fighting Mick Williams, Arroyo, you know, good fighter from Puerto Rico. He has a twin brother, Mick Joe. These guys been around for a while, good fighters. So that's gonna be on the card. And then opening up the card, you have Chris Arreola, long time heavyweight contender, versus Jean Pierre Augustine, something like that. He fights out of Canada. So they put a lot of Mexican fighters on the undercard, to appeal to the Mexican crowds. There's a lot of Mexicans in Texas, and so that way it just you know com- compromise the card, have the card stacked with Mexican fighters, which makes sense. So it's not really a big undercard, but it's not too bad. The Neri versus Arroyo fight is a good fight. Neri, he's probably one of the best 118 pounders. Probably behind anyway. Yeah, he might be behind anyway in 118. He's pretty good, strong fighter, southpaw. Then Chris Arreola, he's always in good fights, and he's fighting kind of a prospect slash contender. So we'll see what happens with that. Um, there's some other news that was already put out, but I'm gonna touch on it. So Shakur Stevenson, he's stepping up in competition. In his next fight, he's gonna fight Christopher Diaz at 126 pounds on the Bud Crawford Amir Khan pay-per-view undercard. Um, that's a good fight. So that's a good step up for him, for Shakur. Christopher Diaz last year, he was basically a hot prospect for top rank. They was pushing him to fight to take Lomachenko's place at 130 when Lomachenko went up. That's why he fought for the vacant belt against Ito, but he ended up losing. He got dropped in that fight, and he was just all worked and all punched in that fight. Ito came up with the victory. Shakur Stevenson's coming off some good knockouts. He had a good knockout on the Brian Jennings, Oscar Rivas on the card in January, and then October he had a first round knockout. So he's been sitting down on his punches, looking sharp, looking strong. Fighting with more confidence and putting his punches together. So that's a great fight right there. Christopher Diaz, he's training with Freddie Roach now. He was training with Tevin Farmer and his team. Chico, what's his name? Chino Rivas and them guys. They got a little team up there, and they're doing real good in Philly. So he's with Freddie Roach now. So should be interesting. Teofimo Lopez should be on that card too, but he don't have an opponent right now. Who else we got? What else we got going on? So we know next. So also Saturday, I'm gonna touch on the card with Leo Santa Cruz. He's fighting a late replacement, Rivera. Um, then you have Omar Figueroa versus John Molina. What I'm saying, that's an action-packed fight. I mean, damn, that's a good fight right there. That like, it can't be a bad fight. You know what I'm saying? On the undercard, you also have a title eliminator between the Japanese fighter. His name is let me see, Asawa versus Cesar Juarez. Cesar Juarez, he was stopped by Dalby last year, and he gave Nonito Donaire a tough fight a couple years ago. He a strong, tough Mexican. He can fight though. He can fight. I think he have 6 losses, but he a strong puncher, very durable. Comes to fight, and the Japanese guy Isawa, he just lost his belt to TJ Doheny last year, the IBF strap. So, and that was a close fight. That fight could have went either way. So that's gonna be that's an underrated fight right there on that Leo Santa Cruz undercard. I know a lot of people not checking for, but that's one of the fights I'm checking for because it should be a good fight. Because I like the good 50-50 competitive fights that has something on the line. Um, the winner would be the mandatory for the IBF at 122 pounds. So looking forward to that. Um, let me see. So some news that came out earlier, probably last week or so. Miguel Burchett, he had a fight scheduled for March the 23rd. He had to pull out of that fight with a hand injury. That's gonna be rescheduled for May 11th. He rematching Francisco Vargas. So that first fight was good, but Burchett, he outpunched him. I thought he beat him pretty easy though, but the scores was close on that first fight. So they're gonna rematch. I think that's not mandatory. That's a voluntary defense. So we'll see. Um, let me see what else. Volchik, Alexander Volchik has a fight coming up March the 30th in Philly. So that's his first title defense. He fighting the guy. What's his name? He's from Africa. Dodo and Gamnu fighting him out of Africa. You know, that guy got 8 losses. You know, I guess it's a good title defense. I don't know. I'm not interested in the fight, but you know, of course, I'm gonna watch it. You got some you got some, yeah, you have a couple of title eliminators that's pretty important on the undercard of that March 30 card. You have Igis, Mean Machine, Kavalaskis. He's fighting Ray Robinson. We remember Ray Robinson from last year. He got stopped by Ugas on the Dan Garcia, Brandon Rios undercard. You know, uh, Mean Machine. That's what they call him, Igis Kavalaskis. So I'm gonna just call him Mean Machine. He he's basically the mandatory for Bud in WBO. So he won a title eliminator back in November. Now he's fighting a guy that's kind of similar to Bud, you know, on a lower scale. You know, a southpaw, rangy. You know what I'm saying? So, far if he know he gonna fight Bud, I think that's actually a good fight for him because he can get that look at Bud if he's really coming in there trying to win. So I kind of like the fight for him. Uh, Also another title eliminator that affects the welterweight division. I can't pronounce this guy's name, so I'm gonna call. He's from Uzbekistan. He's 15-0 with 9 KOs. Very strong, aggressive guy. Um, he got a funny name. I can't say it, but his nickname is the Punisher. So he's like number 3 in the IBF rankings. He was ordered to fight Jesse Vargas last year. Jesse Vargas turned it down. So he's fighting a Japanese fighter named Obara. Obara lost to he lost to Chornatsky, the Russian fighter, at 140 last year. No, not last year, but maybe a couple years ago. He got stopped in like 2 or 3 rounds. So, but this kid from Uzbekistan, the Punisher, he's strong, man. Strong fighter. He has a good Olympic amateur pedigree too. I think he's like 24, 25. Very strong fighter. A lot of people don't know about him. But if he wins, the winner of that fight will be the mandatory for the IBF title at 147 for Spence. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to look at. I know. So like for me, when I see fights like that, it intrigues me because I want to get to know the fighter before the fighter's on that stage. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see these fights get made and they be like, who the hell is this guy? That's another bum. So I used to be of that same mindset too. So what I do now, I would always check out. Oh my bad. I would always check out the rankings, and I check out the rankings, and I check for like the top guy in the sanction body. That way, I know ahead of time what this guy brings to the table, or if he gonna give this guy trouble. That's why when I can make my predictions, I can say, you know what, this guy can fight. He can fight. He can punch. He can do this. He can do that. He may give this guy trouble, and then other people get their prediction on the fight. They just say, man, he fighting a bum. He gonna knock him out in 2 rounds. But then when the fight go longer, then they like, man, that guy, he got exposed. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like to do my due diligence and check these guys out. But the guy, he's from Uzbekistan. He got the long name. He got a long ass name. I'm not even gonna chop that. I'm not even gonna chop that up. I seen his first name start with a K. Then I seen it start with a Q. So I just leave it at that. I just call him the Punisher. That's his ring name. So, but he can fight though. He can fight. Let me see. So the WBA, they had a couple of purse bids supposed to take place yesterday, but they was postponed, and some was given the exemption. Lomachenko, he uh he got a purse bid versus Corolla. So the reason why this came about because after Richard Comey won his world title, his IBF the other week, he uh he messed up his knuckle in his right hand, so he was going to fight Lomachenko in April the 12th, but he's out of the fight. So now he Lomachenko has to fight, Anthony Corolla out of the UK. So it was the purse bid was postponed so they can work on a deal. You know what I'm saying? So likely It'd be Lomachenko versus Corolla, April the 12th on ESPN. So because if it go to purse bid, we all know Eddie Hearn ain't gonna win that shit anyway. So they might as well work out a deal and bring the guy over. He fighting for two. He got two title belts on the line. So you know what I'm saying? I don't think he should have been waste his time on the purse bid. Another WA purse bid. You got Danny Roman versus a Russian fighter, but Danny Roman got an exemption. That's for the 122-pound belt. So Danny Roman, since he got his exemption, he's going to fight T.J. Donaghy, the IBF champion, in unification. And that fight gonna be on the zone. That's a good fight too. Very good fight. Um, a lot of people don't check for the smaller weight fighters, but that is a really good fight because their style match perfectly. Danny Roman, he's not a big puncher, but he's a good body puncher. He throws a lot of punches. He's very active. He can box a little bit. And then Doheny, he is a big puncher. He can punch. He fights all the southpaw stance. He can box as well too, and he can bang. He just like I said, he won the one world title last year against the Japanese fighter that's on Leo's card, and he just won a fight, his first title defense in January. So that's a good fight to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love the unifications because unifications is typically the best fighting the best, and that's what the fans want to see. So I'm all for it. Let me salute the chat, man. I don't know if you guys still here, but I'm gonna shout you guys out. Oh shit, what's good, man? Salute to you, Reggie Owens, my bro. What's up, man? It was good calling a fight with you the other day too, man. You was doing your thing on there. P Money, what's good, bro? What's going on with you? Atlantic City getting some shine. Yep, Atlantic City used to be the jump off. What's up, Jalik the leader? What's good? DB03, what's up, man? Manny Rodriguez, yeah. At 118, yeah, he another one. Yeah, he's a good fighter too, man. I mean to overlook him. P Money Stevens coming to his own. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He looking strong, P Money. Ballyhood, what's good? Salute. Andrew Santos, what's good, man? What's going on with you? One of the ones, what's up, man? The Japanese fighter. Yeah. I don't know if you heard me. What's up, Stay Ready? Stay Ready Boxing TV, what's good? LDTB, what's good? Yeah, he is a beast. Let me see. So one of the ones, I don't know if you still in here, but yeah, the Japanese fighter, man, he can fight, man. Tough fighter. He was giving Doheny all he wanted. He was bringing that work to him. I think Doheny was probably a little bit more sharper that fight, and he threw some better power punches. You know what I'm saying? But that was a good fight. And this fight on this undercard, on Leo's undercard with Juarez, that's gonna be a good fight too, man. So check for that. Let me see. Danny Ramon, yeah, the guy from man. I seen that guy fight. That would be a tough fight. Jazzy T, what's good, man? Salute. Yeah, that guy would have been trouble for Danny Ramon, man. But you know what I'm saying? He's still gonna get his opportunity. He just gonna have to wait in line to stay busy. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, there's so much stuff going on in boxing, man. I know I be skipping over stuff. Let me see. Um so Alexander Usyk and Callum Smith supposed to have a double hitter in the United States, May 18th. They don't have no opponents yet, but they're talking about having that fight, having them two guys on the same card. I seen something where let me see, Callum Smith's coach, he was like he'd be willing to fight Sergey Kovalev at 175, and then Kathy Duva just came out and said she won that fight. So man, that's a good fight, man. That's a tough fight for Callum Smith. Tough fight for Kovalev too at this stage of his career because he transformed himself to a boxer now. He was the puncher, the boogeyman. Now he's a boxer and still can punch. So Callum Smith, big strong kid. Man, that's a tough fight for both. But that's one fight I like to see though. I like to see that. Very good fight. Hopefully that can happen, man. Hopefully that can happen. Uh, so we're in a good time, like far as like fights on every weekend, two or three different type of networks and platforms to watch them. If you like that type of fan like myself, I like to watch all boxing. You know what I'm saying? So so I can learn about the sport more and these fighters, and to promote some stuff on my page and whatever, and just talk about them. So it's fights on all the time, man. I try to, if I miss one, I go back and watch it and whatever. So you got the opportunity to go back and watch it if you miss it. Last weekend, there's a lot of action going on. Tank Davis, he did what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't happy with the opponent, but I was happy with his performance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to have an opponent that's not worthy to be in the ring with you, but there's another thing to go out there and handle business like he's supposed to do. He was sharp. You know what I'm saying? He was precise with his punches. He was very aggressive. He took the lead foot from as soon as the bell rang. As soon as the bell rung, Tank was on the lead foot, walking the guy down. That's what you're supposed to do. Get him up out of there. He's not supposed to be in the ring with you. So, far as the opponent, I ain't like it. But far as the performance, I loved it. I thought he did his thing. Um, what else on the card? For Fortuna, that's who I thought Tank should have fought. Fortuna, because Fortuna has a high ranking in the WBC. Fortuna has already been ordered for a title eliminator in the WBC. And the winner of that title eliminator will fight Luke Campbell. And then WBC reshuffled their stuff. I don't know what's going on. They stay changing. But my perspective, I was like, Tank's struggling to make 130. So he's gonna stay struggling. How about you just go ahead and jump up to 135, be Fortuna. That's a more competitive fight, and it has more to gain with it because you'll be in position to fight for WBC mandatory once Mikey officially vacates his WBC. Because my thinking of that was, look how he got the WBA Super Championship. He fought a guy that was off for a year and a half that was moving up in weight, and they made him the super champion. And they made Machado a regular champion. I'm gonna get on him in a second. So what that tells me, if he was to go the WBC route at another weight, they would do the same thing. He got the money behind him, right? Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe. So I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind in putting him in front of them. So that was my mindset of it. But for Fortuna, he fought Borgray. I mean, that was an ugly fight. I thought Borgray was actually, up after four, like 3-1, but then started getting a bunch of headbutts and wrestling and whatnot. Then I thought it was a knockdown that I thought was a slip, off balance shot, and then Fortuna kind of took over the back half of the fight, so he won. Mario Barrios, big strong kid at 140, he went in there and just was just putting hands on that boy. That guy, he was tough though. He was tough. He didn't go down, but he was out on his feet. I thought it was a good stoppage. So Mario Barrios is number one in the WBA at 140. So he'll be able to get some work after the World Boxing Super Series. This to continue to stay active. Um, Erickson Lubin putting them hands on Ishe Smith. You know what I'm saying? I was impressed with his performance. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a big confidence booster, on coming off the devastating knockout against Jamel Charlo and his one fight in between that. I thought he should have been a little bit more active. But this is a confidence booster because Ishe never been stopped and he fought, you know, just about everybody. And it was a great performance, man. He was sharp. He was very sharp. And I appreciate him coming in like that, you know what I'm saying? Especially the back and forth at the weigh-in and all that stuff. So I feel as though if you're gonna be talking all that trash at the weigh-in and pushing each other's and doing this and doing that, you need to go in the fight like that too. Bring that same energy to the fight. A lot of times guys talk a lot of trash at the weigh-in or press conference and then they on the back foot and they running. Oh, not running, but they boxing and moving and being cautious. But Lubin came in there, set the tone, and got the dude up out of there. So salute to him on that. Let me see. Look in the chat. How he only had 5 fights and became mandatory. Probably his I think with that stuff be happening. I read the rules once. I read the IBF rules. How these fighters be having like a least amount of fights, but they be like top 5, top 10 mandatory. So what it is, the IBF will rank you based off your amateur pedigree. You know what I'm saying? So you can have one fight and they'll put you in the top 15. You know, so I'm pretty sure the other ones do it too. So if you got like over 300 something wins and you went to 2 Olympics, or whatever, they consider you a experienced fighter. You know what I'm saying? By their rules, so they'll put you in there. Like the World Boxing Super Series, the first round, season 2, they had the guy who fought Tete. He was from Russia. He only had 4 fights, but I think he went to like 2 Olympians, and he was a he was a standout amateur, so he was able to get that status in the WBO or whatever, WBA, one of them. He was ranked real high in the World Boxing Super Series, and he got in the tournament. So I know a lot of people when they was breaking down the tournament, they was like, "How this dude in the tournament? He only got 4 fights." But it's based the ranking the sanction bodies they rank some guys that have extensive backgrounds. They put them in the top 10 because they say they got experience. So that's why I read up on it. Have you heard of they trying to push this guy? No, I haven't heard of him, but I'll check him out. What division he fight in? One of the ones. I'll check him out. Yeah, let me know what division he fight in. I'm gonna check him out. Also on Saturday, Alberto Machado got got knocked out in the 4th round due to body shots. That was a big upset. Fought the guy Andrew Cancedo. He had lost to Jojo Diaz at featherweight. So that was a shock right there. Technically, Canseco is the super champion. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. No, in my opinion, I don't look at Tank as the champion at 130. I don't. Even though they say that, I don't. Now he fight this guy and beat him, then okay. It's just that WBA shit is so confusing because um Machado beat the super champion, but then he got demoted. Tank fights a guy from featherweight. They've been off, and then that's crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to that guy, man. He fought well. He got dropped in the 1st round. Machado dropped him in the 1st round. He got up, fought hard, and got the stoppage. Went to the body, got the guy up, got him up out of there. So that was good for him, man. Jojo Diaz, he got a unanimous decision on that card. He looked decent. He moved up to 130. You know what I'm saying? Not too much to write home about, but it was a good little workmanlike performance. Ray Vargas defended his 122-pound belt, WBC. He got dropped in the 2nd or 3rd round. The guy he was fighting was tough and rugged. He one of them dudes that, man, you're gonna have to kill him. He was coming. He was bringing that heat. But I thought Ray Vargas he boxed well enough in spots to win that fight pretty easy. So I like Ray Vargas at 122. There's a lot of work to be done there, especially with Danny Roman and TJ Doheny. They unifying. Ray Vargas has a mandatory already. His name is Toki Kameda. He's with PBC. He lost to Jamie Madonna twice. He's the WBC interim champion at 122. So Ray Vargas already got his opponent already. So we'll see. The top ranked card on Sunday. It's a good card. Some action packed fights. Ray was it Ray Beltran? He was in a good fight with with the Japanese fighter. Oh man, Okada, I believe. Good fight. He dropped him a couple times and stopped him in the 9th round. He was hitting him with some crazy shots at the end. Ray Beltran moving up to 140, so probably he fought for the WBO regional belt. So I don't know if that means they're trying to go after Hooker or whatever, but he also top 10 in the WC. So I see him either fighting Jose Ramirez since he's on that side, but we'll see. Jose Ramirez had a tough fight, tough fight. See, that was one of the fights I was telling people, man, that Jose Cepeda can fight. That's why I like to watch these guys fight. You can't go off box rec all the time. A lot of people they see the fights get made, they go off box rec, and then they'll go they make their content be like, this guy is 24-0, but he only fought blah 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 and blah blah blah, or he got dropped by a guy with 37 losses. You gotta watch the fights, bro. Watch the fights. Don't go off of that. You can go off of it. That's a guide. Like I said, I'm gonna continue to say, box red is like a recipe when you about to cook. When you about to cook something for your lady or something, you get the recipe. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make some whatever, some other pork chops. Yo, let me get the recipe. Let me see how I'm gonna do it. So you get the recipe, then um, that's just a guide. The recipe is a guide. But once you know how to do it, then you don't need that no more. You go watch the fights. So actually cooking and getting in there and doing your thing, that's equivalent to watching the fights. Watch the fights. You looked on his record, he got stopped by Terry Flanagan. We all know Terry Flanagan is not a big puncher. So we automatically assume Terry Flanagan beat the brakes off of him. But you go look at the fight. Dude's shoulder popped out in the first round. And he fought to the seventh round until the doctors and the referees and the UK was like, nah, bro, you can't fight no more. TKO, you lost your, you know what I'm saying? He was a standout amateur, you know what I'm saying? So when I see these fights get made, I go do the research. I say, okay, Zepeda. So I found out Zepeda was sparring Floyd for the Guerrero camp, and he had him in for Pacquiao. So I'm like, okay, so if he gonna bring him back, he had him in for one camp, he gonna bring him back. Oh, okay, so he must got something with him. He must can box because you're not gonna be in on high level camp if you can't bring something to the table to push Floyd for what he needs you for. What he gonna pay you like $1,500 a week for sparring if you're gonna come in there half ass. So I watched his fights and everything that I said it happened in that fight. He saw Paul can box. He was a sharpshooter. He was fast on his combinations. He had a good jab. He had a good amateur pedigree. So I knew he can bring that to the table. Um, that was a close fight, man. Um, I had a draw, but I can see Zepeda winning. I don't think Jose Ramirez won that fight. Like just watching it, then I guess you can swing some rounds to him and to whatever. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd say Zepeda. Zepeda got out to a fast start. I think he won the first half of the fight. He won five. Yeah, the first he won like the first 4 or 5 rounds to me. And Ramirez started to get back into the fight, starting to be a little bit more aggressive, but the tricky style was getting to him. Plus, another thing, Jose Ramirez was hesitant to jump in there because I was saying like maybe Zepeda got some pop. He got 25 knockouts and 30 wins. So whether he's fighting top level guys or what I'm saying, cab drivers, you see that on your record, you have to respect that. And I think it was evident because Jose Ramirez was kind of off. Like he was kind of like I don't know, he was kind of off his rhythm or something. And maybe it was the hometown crowd, and maybe it was fighting against Freddie Roach. Or, I don't know what it was, but me, I like to give the other fighter some credit. I think it was Zepeda. Zepeda had some awkward movement, some good. You didn't know where his punches was coming from. You know what I'm saying? He had his hands down. He was boxing. That let me know he was comfortable where he was at. So I was impressed with the guy. I hope he get another opportunity. He fought well. He fought well enough to win that fight. Down the stretch, he kind of let some rounds go. Yeah, I can say that. But I mean, he fought a good fight. Um, Jose Ramirez, I gave him props for coming back and trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? Making the fight closer. So you know, it was good boxing. It was a good fight, man. I like that competitive fights. So the guy definitely came to win. Let's see. Oh, he fights at 140. He got 5 fights. Okay, I'm gonna check him out. Real super champion. Yes, sir. What's up, Angel? What's going on with you? Teddy B, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to give me a WBA championship, man. Shit. Go ahead and give me one. They hand them shits out to everybody else. KQKC was good, huh? I don't know about that. I don't know about no time slot. Um, they took away points from Ray Vargas' opponent. Yeah, they sure did. They did. Beltran's a warrior. Yep, told everybody at the corner. Yeah. Yeah, man. Trying to let you know. I be watching them things. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's what you do. You gotta watch them fights. Once some fights get announced, go watch them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be quick to call people bums and like this guy Rivera that's fighting Leo Santa Cruz. The kid can fight now. He can fight. He uh he lost. I think he got two. I think I forgot his record. I think it's 24-2 or 20 something and two. I know he got two losses. He lost to Jojo Diaz and he lost to a prospect, Joet something, Joet. But yeah, I watched those fights on Golden Boy. See, a lot of people when Golden Boy was having their cards on Facebook Live, nobody don't want to watch that shit. And I ain't watching. I ain't supporting that. But me, I ain't so much like that towards promoters or this guy, this guy. I'm watching all boxing. I'm watching all boxing. So I watch them fights, man. That guy can fight, bro. Like he's not as talented as Leo. Leo should win. I would say Leo should win. But I don't think he running through dude. Dude can fight. You know what I'm saying? So if you just take away that okay, he's coming on short notice and he got two losses to Jojo Diaz and the prospect, man, don't sell that thing short because we already seen we got upsets this year already. You gotta be on high alert now. What? Let me name them off. You got Cano, he upsetted Linares. Some people can call Oscar Rivas over Jennings an upset, although I don't. I thought it was a 50-50 fight going in, so you know what I'm saying. But Kovalev, that was an upset. Everybody in their mama was saying Alvarez is gonna win because it is because two reasons. Because he got knocked out in the first fight, and the second reason because everybody hate Kovalev because he a racist and he a woman beater and he doing this in the third. So there was two they had the blinders on. They wasn't objective to break down the fight. They just said Alvarez gonna knock him out again. That's my easy prediction. And what happened? And I was probably the only one saying, yo, I got Kovalev unanimous decision. Man, get out of here. Kovalev can't box. He can't all box nobody. I ain't never seen him all box. Okay. Then what happened? You don't see that's why avoid eating your crow. Just do the research. You can avoid the crow. Some crow is just given to you because you're emotional. Don't be so emotional. You don't have to eat it. You know what I'm saying? You just break down the fight like you see it. You know what I'm saying? Then okay, I'm gonna pick this guy, pick that guy. A lot of people don't do that. They just say Kovalev, he hiding in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with the other dude. Nah, bro. I put all the other shit to the side. For real. What's up, Trey X? What's going on with you? Yeah, dude can fight still. Yeah. Yeah, I got Leo too. But after this fight though, Leo need to come on with it. He gonna need to fight Gary Russell because everybody want to see that. Like, bro, he 35-1. I was looking at his stuff the other day. I'm like, bro, he got 36 fights, and this dude have like you can say Frampton is his career defining fight because he split a pair with him, and then he beat Abner twice. I mean, he fought I guess he fought most of the people. I mean, some say he dug Rigo. I don't know. I'm not the judge. I'm not a manager, but maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. But I think Gary Russell is his defining fight. These guys been champions at the same division at the same time for like 2 or 3 years. I'm saying, and they on the same side. They this, you know what I'm saying. So that fight has to happen, man. Either you fight Gary Russell or you try to unify with Valdez or who else there? Josh Warner, but he got business to handle with Kid Galahad. Valdez on the other side. He looking for another kind of a stay busy fight, so he ain't ready to unify right now. So it's Gary Russell at 126. Then I would say jump up and get that work from Tank. I mean, excuse me. People calling Leo Santa Cruz a great fighter. I think he's a good fighter. And I'm saying he did a lot of things in the sport, but I think you can define his legacy if that's what he's trying to do. Then he can take some bigger fights. He got some fights in his division or one division up that he can take. It can be some good work. So, um, Adam Alvarez made a when he was talking before he pulled out the fight. He was talking about just look at the opponents that he scheduled to fight and look who Leo was scheduled to fight. The guy Flores, he was stopped twice, and he was people's sparring partners, and he wasn't much of a threat. The guy right here, Rivera, is a probably a bigger threat. But Abner he was scheduled to fight a killer. You know what I'm saying? And he lost to Leo. So I understand what he was saying. These guys can request for better fights. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, you 35-1. You what? He a three division world champion. Beat Frampton, beat Abner. Who else he beat, man? Somebody else off. I don't know. But Leo, he's been around. He can fight. Come on, bro. These fights right here is really not. It's not good for the hardcore fight fan that want to see you fight Gary Russell. Or if Gary Russell not gonna fight Leo, then Gary Russell at least be busy. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that irks a lot of fight fans because we want to see these guys fight because they'll call themselves the best, but it's a debate. So hopefully Leo steps up, but he should be able to win this fight though. Definitely. Let me see. Yeah, they do have to square up, man. This shit is crazy. What it do? Hey, what's up, man? Neutral Natural, what's good? Yeah, you said Ray Vargas kind of weak. Man, I like Ray Vargas though. I like him, and I agree with you. He might be the weakest link, but the thing he got over the other fighters in his division that's gonna be a problem for them is his height and reach. And he have a good jab. The dude like 5'11", fighting at 122 pounds. These other guys is like 5'4", 5'5", and some change. I think that jab can be if he got Nacho Beristain in his corner, so you got a trainer that's been in the big fights and can be able to prepare you for this stuff. I think his jab gonna be a problem for these guys. His length, you know what I'm saying? He know how to use it when he want to. He can punch a little bit. So I mean, I get you though. He do be looking weak though. He be looking weak as hell. But he got the attributes to be able to get them smaller guys some problems though. But I'm with you. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. Um, shoot. Ito, the 130-pound champion, the WBO champion, supposed to fight Jamel Herring. So you know what I'm saying? They're supposed to fight May the 25th. But here's the thing about that, man. I be talking to Jamel Herring sometimes off and on Twitter, be hitting him up, whatever, trying see what's going on, what's next, or whatever. And back in like November, he was like he was gonna fight Ito. He just had to fight one more fight. But see, he's still not ranked in the WBO. So I checked the WBO rankings, all the rankings, like monthly, just to see what's what. So like, if I see somebody just pop up in the damn rankings, I'd be like, oh, hold on, who he about to fight there? Because he won't in there the last 3 months. Now he popped up in there. So I was asking him, I was like, yo, what's good with the WBO rankings, bro? He was like, yeah, man, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be in there. And this was like November. It's February. You know what I'm saying? They already announcing this fight, or they trying to work this fight out. He's still not in the rankings and shit. So I was like, it's funny because when Collazo was rumored to fight Bud in November, when the next rankings came out after they made that announcement, Collazo was number 11, and Collazo ain't been ranked in the WBO in years. So now he's number 11 when this rumor came out. And I'm like, you with top rank. That's Bob. That's Bob. That's what Bob orders. That's his organization. The WBO. Bob Arum was tight with them. So I'm like, Bob ain't looking out for you, bro. And that dude, he went crickets on me. So maybe he went to go talk to him. Maybe I started something, but hopefully because the way they got the storyline matched up with it, you know, we know Jamel Herring was a veteran in the Marines. They fight May 25th. That's on Memorial Day, the weekend, and they're trying to fight in a military base. I think it's Camp Lejeune or something like that. And also, so on a sentimental note, this is the 10th anniversary of his daughter that passed, Jamel Herring. So, what I'm saying, you got the storylines. ESPN, they'll make a whole mini series about that. What I'm saying, you got the veteran, and he lost his daughter, and he fighting for a world title, and blah blah blah. All this. So it makes sense for the storyline, but it don't make sense from the WBO because the president even came out and said that Jamel Herring don't meet the requirements to be ranked. He don't meet the requirements. And that I found that funny because like 2 years ago, the WBO ranked the dead like a fighter had died and they ranked him in the top 15. But that's funny, but whatever. So they said Jamel Herring don't deserve to be ranked in WBO. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on, but if he in those rankings at the end of the month, they usually come out like the 27th or 28th of the month. If he's ranked, then that fight gonna happen, and it has the storyline that I just told you guys. So hopefully he get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. I just want to know when you're gonna get ranked, bro. Shoot, that's all. Let me see. So the World Boxing Super Series, man. I don't know what the hell going on with them, but I hope they get it together. It's a lot of man, some good fights, man. I want to see them jumps. So Baranchik, the IBF champion at 140, he's supposed to fight Josh Taylor May the 18th. So Baranchik pulled out of the tournament. His manager pulled him out. Then the next day, the World Boxing Super Series announced the fight with Josh Taylor May 18th in Scotland. Now, Baranchik's people saying he's out of the tournament. I don't know what they're talking about. So hopefully they get this thing together, man, because if one fighter pull out, that means another fighter can, then another fighter can, and then they're gonna mess up the whole thing. So hopefully they get that thing together. But if it do go ahead on the undercard of that fight, you got Inoue versus Rodriguez for the IBF title. And that's a bum ass fight right there. A lot of people sleeping on Rodriguez, but he's a technician. You know what I'm saying? He's very skilled. You know what I'm saying? From Puerto Rico, he can box, he can punch a little bit. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? He is what his name is. He's a monster. He can do everything. Good body puncher. He can punch with both hands. So hopefully that goes ahead. You know what I'm saying? The World Boxing Super Series. Because I know everybody want to see Bridges versus Taylor, but they got business to do. Both of them guys want to win world championships, and if the World Boxing Super Series get canceled, they're gonna lose out on their opportunity because Regis is fighting for the WBA title versus Relic. So you know what I'm saying. I hope they get it together. You know what I'm saying. They announced in the World Boxing Super Series too. Breeders versus Gowacki, which is another good fight. You know what I'm saying? Both guys lost to Usyk. I actually favor Gowacki to win the cruiserweight tournament in the second season. They're supposed to fight June the 15th. So I mean that's like a long way from them, but you know, I just want them to keep it going because the World Boxing Super Series is something good for the hardcore fans because you actually get to see unifications. You can't really duck you know what I'm saying? You can't duck no work. You in the tournament, you gotta fight that guy. So I'm looking forward to that, man. Hopefully it comes off. Let me see what y'all talk about. Yeah. Okay. Y'all talking to each other. That's what's up. Hey, what's up, Scrapbook Boxing? What's good, man? What's good? Let me see. What else we got? Oh, Zerto Ramirez supposed to move up. Oh, Top Rank just signed. I don't know if you remember this guy. I'm gonna put it in the chat. His name is Felix Valera. Um, he's a light heavyweight. Look old as hell. He fought. What I remember him from. He from Dominican Republic. he noted for some losses against he lost to Bivol in a competitive fight. They fought in Russia. I think Bivol was maybe like 8-0 or 9-0. And he lost to Barrera. That was on HBO. He dropped Barrera like the first or second round. Then Barrera dropped him, and then it was like back and forth. He has a quirky style, like a I don't know. It's hard to explain. Kind of like a herky jerk style. You know what I'm saying? But he can fight a little bit. So him signing with Top Rank, that's another opponent. Maybe Zerto can fight since he's moving up. It's a lot of work at 175 on Top Rank side. I mean, Kovalev. I mean they got Alvarez, but they talking about dropping some of them fights on the deal. So they may release him, or I don't know. It's they because he lost the fight in his contract. If he was to win that fight, that was 7-fight deal. That 7-fight deal he signed would have been in effect. But since he lost to Kovalev, because the Kovalev fight was a rematch clause, so he had to take that fight. He ain't really had no option. He couldn't unify or he couldn't fight a stay busy fight. He had to fight Kovalev because it was in the rematch clause. And since Kovalev regained his title, that leave Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? Like shit out of luck, basically. Now Top Rank really don't want to mess with him because he don't bring nothing to the table. He's not a star. You know what I'm saying? People barely want to fight him before he got the title. Now you lost the title, man. Why we need you now? But so Zerto, he got work. You got Volchik, you know what I'm saying? The WBC champion and the lineal champion at light heavyweight. He over there. Brother BF. I don't know if he coming back. I don't know. He's supposed to fight Barrera, but I guess I don't know. It's not happening. But he's supposed to return in May. So you got some work over there at 175. You got 3 of the belts over there. So you know what I'm saying? It's interesting. It's interesting to see what Zerto do. I know that's a tough order though, because he get hit too much. So we'll see. And them guys over there can punch. Yeah. So there's still a lot of good fights, a lot of good cards coming up, man. I'm looking forward to it. Like next week, you got a lot of action next week. Let me see. Can I remember off top? You got the Gale versus Eubank. Then you got on that card you got Joe Joyce and Stavern. And you got Lee Selby versus Omar Douglas. Lee Selby moving up in weight to 135 from 126. We know he lost his title last year to Josh Warrington. So he on that card. Then you have Anthony Yard in a separate card. He fighting on ESPN Plus. He's fighting the guy Travis Reed. Travis Reed's fought on the Mayweather undercard during Pacquiao AB fight week. He beat Linnell Bellows. He from Baltimore, 17-3, I believe. I mean, Yard should be able to beat him pretty easy though. So you got Yard next week. Then you have Anthony Durrell versus Yildirim for the WBC super middleweight title. The belt that David Benavidez got stripped from him, or champion in recess quotation. So that's vacant. He fighting for the vacant title. I think who else on that card? Jamal James. He's on that card. Welterweight, he like 6'2". He can fight. He lost to Ugas, his only loss, but he been on like a 3-fight knockout streak since he lost to Ugas. So he's on that card. Let me see. It's another card I probably don't remember. But yeah, that's still. I mean, there's some notable names next week too. So I'm looking forward to it. So, and I think that the rail card is on FS1, so it's free. So you know what I'm saying. And you got the ESPN Plus and Showtime. So the Gale, Eubank, and Joe Joyce and Stavern is gonna be on Showtime. So y'all be look out for that. Then March the 2nd, you got a Showtime card. You got Erislandy Lara versus Brian Castano. That's a good fight too. That's a good fight. That guy is gonna push Lara. He's gonna push Lara. I don't think he's gonna allow Lara just to sit out there and try to box. And I think Lara don't have his legs no more, so I think he don't have no other choice. But we'll see. Luis Ortiz is on that card fighting Kristen Hammer. Um, we'll see. That should be a good workman-like performance from Ortiz. I favor him by knockout. Um, and then the interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? It probably don't mean shit to y'all before I said something, but you got Edna Cherry versus Ricardo Nunez. Nunez is a puncher. He's from Panama. He's like 20-2 with like 18 or 19 KOs or something like that. He can punch. And Edna Cherry, he's a veteran in the sport. You know what I'm saying? He trains with Keith Thurman, from the Bahamas, I believe. He got like 6 or 7 losses. He like 33-6, I believe. We know him. He fought Tim Bradley back in the day. He fought Pedraza in a close fight. So the winner of this fight would be Tank's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? So the way they be talking about Tank, and we want Tank to fight Lomachenko, Burchett, Gary Russell Jr., Leo Santa Cruz, anybody like that, whatever. He probably ain't. They talk about, they want to take their time and blah blah blah. So if they taking their time, they trying to get this guy active. You know what I'm saying? Just me hearing that, I'm saying he's not going to fight the big name guys that we want him to fight. And it's a reason why Jim Gray said that that's for the mandatory, because I didn't even see that coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm usually be on that thing. But if the commentator that worked for Showtime going to say, what about these guys fighting for the mandatory spot for your title? You willing to fight them? And he was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. First, I didn't even know what he was talking about. And then he was like, oh, yeah, that's whatever. So they making fights. So that's why like sometimes I be figuring out some shit. Sometimes the commentators and the announcers, they making the fights for us. You just gotta think about it. Like, why the hell he bring up that fight? Ain't nobody think about no damn Edna Cherry or whatever, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. March 9th, you got Sean Porter versus Ugas. I'm looking forward to that fight. That's gonna be in Carson, California. Same place they had Tank's fight. They moved it from Vegas. I guess they wasn't getting the ticket sales. I don't know. That's not my lane. But I still like the fight. Um, they have a intriguing heavyweight fight. Basically, the passing of the guard, something that you see a lot in boxing back in the day. You don't really see it too much now, but you have the old vet Amir Mansour. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting F.A. Ajaba, and that's a step up fight for F.A. But man, you talking about not doing Mansour no favors. I don't know who he pissed off because he just fought. He just got stopped for the first time against Herkovic. Herkovic just signed with Eddie Hearn in the zone, so he probably looking for some work. But he's probably the best heavyweight prospect out there to me, Herkovic, and Mansour fought him on a week notice and got stopped. So now he about to fight F.A. Ajaba. But at least he gets 7 weeks. But F.A. ain't no punk, and that dude can punch. And I don't know, I don't know what them 46-year-old legs gonna be able to pull out the hat. I know he tough. I know he can punch himself. But man, I don't know what he did to get F.A. And F.A. is a killer. But we'll see though. But those are the type of fights I want to see my prospect fight. Fight the faded guy coming out. They can still give you a little bit, but you should be able to get a little bit of credit for beating them up. You should be able to, stop him because you got to compare yourself to the next prospect. It's like a competition. Herkovic stopped him in 3. You should be able to get him in 3 or less. You know what I'm saying? So, that's an intriguing fight. Very intriguing. So, like I said, it's a lot of fights coming up, man. For the guys that like into watching boxing all the time and appreciate learning the new like styles and who doing what and blah blah, whatever. So it's a lot of fights for you, a lot of content. Also tomorrow too, it's another fight card. It's gonna be on YouTube. Like this is, I already know I'm a hardcore fan. I found this shit the other day. Uh, the the YouTube page Fight Hub. They're gonna be broadcasting a fight tomorrow in Mexico. So it's like kind of like a they don't have a lot of production or whatever. They're just a little basic fight card. Y'all probably won't know nobody on the undercard on the card. Only person I recognized was Dominique Dalton from Detroit. I think he was PBC. He trained with Cecilia Breakus and whatnot. But he's on that card. That's the only guy I recognize. So they be having little cards on on Fight Hub, and they be coming on like so I'm on the West Coast, so they be coming on like 9 o'clock my time. So probably y'all on the East Coast or Central Time be missing them joints, but yeah, he had a card last week. They had a big knockout on that card too. A lot of people missed. I was like, damn, it was a couple of big knockouts last weekend too. Um, but yeah, that's just if y'all into that though. That card is gonna be on Fight Hub. So if y'all want to check that out, subscribe to them if you if you into that. But I'll be watching that shit. So it's a lot of fights tomorrow, man. I'm gonna have all my devices going so I can be able to watch all of them at one time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I'm about to close down this live stream, man. I appreciate you guys stopping in, checking me out. Um, y'all have a good day, man. I'm out.